Good to see you today.
How you been?
Good.
Do you want to go straight to questions? You have opening comments?
I have an open comment.
Okay, great.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, we are ready to begin with Coach Purcell, who will have an opening comment, and then we will take your questions.
Good morning. I'm extremely excited to talk about my team this year. Right now, we are one team with one goal. But before I dive into our new slogan for this season, let me look back at why not us. I'm forever grateful to Mississippi State. In this profession, and especially as a first-time head coach, you need one school to give you a chance. Thank you, Bulldog family, for believing in me and my family and providing me with that first opportunity. Next, I want to thank my all-star staff for joining me and having faith and support to have my back, but also provide me with an incredible work ethic that allowed us to sign the number 16 signing class and the number 3 transfer portal class. Last and most importantly are the players. You believed in me, this school, and most importantly, each other, and together, through your hard work, we defied the odds to get Mississippi State back on the map and have everyone talk to us nice. Now I stand here before you in year 2. It's now about the next steps. And each one of those steps looks different. But the culture is set, but how can we give back more this year? How can we give back more to a community and a state who has given so much to us? Our fans have showed out to support my young women, and we've been ranked in the top 15 in attendance for nearly a decade. But my challenge to our fans, all right, is to continue that energy that we've currently got going in the hump. And I've got some great news. We have currently sold out the lower bowl and all club seats this year, which is unbelievable. But I've got one more challenge for my fans. I need our first sellout, all right, that we can sell out the hump, and I'm confident if we can get one, we can get one more. We had an unbelievable run last year, but can our daily habits and no one outworks us mentality get us to the next level? No doubt we have the talent on paper, but paper doesn't win championships. Waking up every day and stacking days to have one special season. I love where we're currently at with 18 days to go before opening day. Ranked number 25 in the country with a squad of hungry players who want more. The key will be sacrifices that we have to make for each other and not play as an open hand of individuals, but instead one closed fist, together for 40 minutes. And with that, we can't wait for our first game on November 6th, game number 1. Ready for questions? One at a time, please.
Hey, Coach. Johnny Thorne with Game Day Weekly.
Hey, Johnny.
Talk about the time you spent at Louisville and what you learned under a very outstanding coach in Jeff Wall.
Wow, how much time do I have? All right, I could go for days. First and foremost, he's a future Hall of Famer. But what makes Jeff Walls a Hall of Famer is the way he manages people and players. And to be an assistant for Jeff Walls, that's why I'm going to be honest with you, was able to have success, confidence, and a swagger in year 1 because of his leadership style that he mentored me. He set me up for success and taught me the ropes, but he gave me opportunity as an assistant. So when given the opportunity at Mississippi State to lead my program, it was an easy transition. So I'm forever grateful for a guy that poured into me, but not only poured into me, that is a great person, a great father, and just a fortunate situation for 9 years there at Louisville.
Coach Wilson Jackson from Sports Illustrated. Jessica Carter, what are you expecting to see from her going into her last season at Mississippi State? I mean, she had a phenomenal season last year, but what are you expecting to see from her coming into this season?
Well, the first thing I'm going to say, ooh-wee, Okay, let me go ooh-wee for a couple little things on Jessica Carter. First of all right, career highs last year, all right, at almost 15 points a game, 2 blocks per game. My girl can also pass, and she also can take charges, as she had a huge charge for us against Kentucky that helped seal the deal. And then she was ranked 3rd in the SEC in block shots. But outside of that, you know what? Jessica Carter is an awesome person. And I mentioned this last year, all right? She's one of the best stories in women's basketball for if you look past her what's gone on in her college experience, but not only what's gone on, but what's to come, all right? Her best basketball is ahead of her. We named her our leader this year as a 5th year. And then her body right now, she crushed it in the weight room. When you look at her size, all right, for most tall girls, there's a label at times like maybe slow or not mobile. She defies all the odds. She's able to just get out in space. She can guard a big, but you know what? She also can guard a point guard. So her presence on the floor gives us a chance to compete for championships. And like I mentioned earlier, I think her best years to come when we're talking about All-American potential, first team All-SEC, and then ultimately her big goals are to play in the league, and I think she can achieve it this year.
Hi, Coach. Ashley Woods with the Crimson White.
Hi, Ashley.
Last year was your first year. What did you learn about yourself as a coach and as a person during your first year at Mississippi State?
Thank you, Ashley. That is a great question. I learned first and foremost, you know what? You're successful in life with people, right? This game obviously is about X's and O's and motivating and speeches and rah, rah, rah. But when you have great people, you know what? You can overcome anything that may be thrown at your way, and that you can take dreams and actually make them realities. And the energy that we were able to have to take over a program that had a lot of success at the highest point in 2017 and 2018, a little drop off, but then give the keys, all right, to a program that had energy that our fans were just waiting to come out and get it back, and a group of people from them too to give support, whether we won or lost, made for a magical season and a magical opportunity for my young women. And then the second part of that question again, I'm sorry. Yeah, again, it's people, all right? I'm the first to say, as an awesome season, everybody mentioned, hey, 22 wins. We got to the NCAA tournament, unbelievable job. Again, I can't thank my staff enough. I would be lying if I said it was just an easy transition. Like I mentioned earlier on the question before, I was prepared. I had great mentors. I've been in some excellent programs where we've been to the NCAA tournament year in and year out. I had great opportunities to grow, but when you sit in that seat, it is different. So you're going to rely on the people you hired, but then most importantly, the kids that were willing to stay with me, the returners, they could have left. The kids who transferred into the portal, they didn't have to come to me. But again, that's why I reference people. They stuck with me. We cleaned some things up. I learned how to be a better coach as the year went on, and then that's why you saw us have a February like no other.
Very back.
Sam, you were so close to making the Sweet 16 a year ago, and I don't think you got a single top 25 vote all year last year, but what does that say about you and your program?
You know what? We're taking the country on notice, all right? That was a big part of Talk to Us Nice. We're humble. We're thankful. But again, it's just another compliment to the SEC. To think that we tied 5th in the SEC in the conference and never received a vote, but then thank God for the selection committee. Let me give a shout out to you, to the NCAA committee who put us in, because there was an opportunity that we weren't. But like I told my young women, when you were put in, what do you do with it now? And for us to make history as the first play-in team, all right, and get to the second round and be 5 points, all right, 5 points for making the Sweet 16 and never receiving a vote. Just a credit to my young women again that, you know what, sometimes you don't need a number in front of your team. It's all about your heart and it's about your mind. And when you're dialed in, you can't be denied. And man, what a great ride it was.
Right here to your left.
Gabrielle Lewis, the next.
Good to see you.
Nice to see you. You had 6 transfers out, plus 4 more seniors graduating, and then bringing in one of the top transfer classes in the country. So with those 6 players transferring out, what was the conversations with them? And then what were the conversations to bring in these really impressive transfers?
Yeah, that's a great question. First of all, when you take over a program, you come in with a vision, and most importantly, you come in with a goal. And I know the media at times might like storylines and all that, but each one of those transfers were for healthy reasons. They wanted different opportunities. Me as a head coach, that's my responsibility. When the season ends, we have one-on-one conversations, and you project where I see them, where things could go, and every player is entitled to opportunity for a bigger opportunity with today's climate. And it was a welcoming thing that we were thankful for their opportunity and wish them nothing but the best of the luck. And then the second part of the question was what?
How do you bring in these top transfers,
Yeah. How do we bring them in? Well, it's a credit to my fan base. All right, the same way I brought them in is the same reason I took the job. Women's basketball at Mississippi State matters. All right, and I talk about it all the time. We're top 15 in the country. One more time. Top 15 in the country in women's basketball. The numbers that we're producing are unique around the country. And again, I want to say this, top 15 in the last 7 years. That was during the glory years, but it was also during the years that we might have went down. So when I talk to a recruit on the phone, I tell them one thing, you're going to get consistency, all right? You could see at the high, boy, it's a vibe and an energy like no other. But also, in case we don't win, you see the commitment of my community, my state, and the people that are going to support you no matter the good or the bad times. So with that kind of environment and the hard work that these student athletes put in and day out, they were dying for that opportunity and that stage. And for us to get recognized this year to have 3 ESPN games on the big stage and the bright lights is why they transfer here as we try to compete for championships.
Right here on the aisle to your right.
Hi, Benjamin Rosenberg with the Commercial Dispatch.
Good to see you.
We talked about this a little bit a few weeks ago on campus, but your 2 veterans, Jess and Jerkayla, they didn't have to stay, but they, chose to remain committed to your program, and they're, the leaders with all these newcomers we've got with the program this year. What does it mean to you that they, continue to believe in this vision and are now the veterans on this group?
Yeah, it's a statement, and that's what I said in year 1. How many positive statements can my program make? And the statements are in multiple ways. 1, giving back to this community. All right, 2, in the classroom. And then 3, giving back to this program. And that third one was a huge statement to show, you know what? The culture's right. You know what? I actually believe in the vision. All right, last year, like I said, they let us in. And so we've got a taste about us that, you know what? We're hungry for more. And that's why the slogan that we have this year is one, right? Can we stack days one day at a time? Can we take a left foot, right foot, and get this program past the second round to the Sweet 16? You get past the Sweet 16, now we're talking Elite 8, Final Fours, and guess what, people? We back, all right? So for them to be my 2 top players and believe in that, it's going to help me in recruiting right now, because that's a big thing that's going on across the country, all right? Successful programs, when you look at the Tennessees in my league, the South Carolinas, the LSU, there's a consistent behavior about them. Attendance, recruiting, and developing players. So right now, I've got the attendance. I've got the coaching staff to develop the players, and now I'm trying to stack another top 25 so we can stay at the top of the top in the SEC. And if you stay in the top of the SEC, the stats prove, all right? You got a chance to compete in Final Fours and win national championships.
Right here.
I want to go back to Jessica Carter.
Yeah.
At the final press conference of March Madness last year, people asked, is she coming back? You said you didn't know. What was the conversation specifically with her to bring her back?
Yeah, I think, this is the fun part, right? You all have a responsibility and a storyline to tell. But for me, I told her to enjoy the journey. Again, I mentioned earlier, she's the best story in women's basketball for multiple reasons. So at that point, and I mentioned some of the stats, she led our team in scoring, rebounding, block shots, and field goal percentage, and had career highs. So at that point, that's not the time or the place to have that conversation. We were on path to make history, all right, and shock the world, all right, and finish the slogan of why not us. And then why not her was going to happen once that magical run happened, and then give her grace and time, because that's the kind of coach that I am. It's not about me, it's about you. And when I sit down with these young women, I ask them, what do you need in your life? All right, what can I do to make, what can I provide for you in your life? Are we the best fit? And that's, just the general questions that are in today's climate. And thank goodness, all right, she said yes, because I'm not going to lie, I was out in the streets in Starkville, Tootsie rolling, all right, screaming, let's go. And it was time for the next hashtag because Jessica Carter's coming back.
Last question, very back, Joel.
Sam, you scored 71 points a game a season ago. Just can you talk about your offense and just your goals for a new year and how you would like to see progress on that end of the court?
I can't say enough great things for excitement for me as a head coach for next year. And this is why, all right? Again, I'm forever grateful for that first group that I inherited, all right? We were able to retain a special group and then immediately get in the portal late in the season and put a team together. Now having a full year, all right, with some returners who understand my style, and then being able to get in the portal and adding some electric players, all right? Our fan base could see points go up, the speed and the quickness that I want to get after it now because I've got depth. And this is the thing about coaching, all right? I always joke about this. I think they're bad coaches when you've got a team and you're determined to play your way, all right? Because I always say, what if you don't have those players? Are you going to play that style because you're going to be determined to play your way, right? So in year 2, to be able to recruit, all right, the vision I have with the pieces I've got, our fans should be ready. And I think that's why they've already bought out the lower season bowls and the club seating because there's an excitement like no other. And that excitement that is in the gym is going to only make my young women play harder. And when playing harder, you could see a lot more on the offensive end, quicker tempo, and then on defense, we're dogs. All right, you're going to have that same mentality where I think we gave up. I want to be correct in case somebody fact checks me here. We gave up last year, 52 points? I want to make sure. I think that's right, 52 points a game, somewhere around there. You're going to have that same defensive mentality where we're going to be multiple defensive teams. So I could not be more excited for next year.
Okay, thank you, Coach.
Thank you, everybody.